嬉しいでしょ。あ、海に落ちないように気をつけて。あれ、封筒が破けているって。まあ、もしやプータが。ごめんなさい。難しそうなネーム。私も見ていい？もしかしたら役に立てるかも。あれ、封筒が破けているって。まあ、
Hello.
もしやプータ
I
が。
have returned.
ごめんなさい。
And I've got my coffee and I have eaten. Being a European Azur Lane player on events is suffering, I swear. Oh, it's so late. It's so goddamn late. What's the fuck is the deal with like this like entire island thing? I just like clicked through it today. Not really sure like what's really the point. Do I even have the onsen? Don't even have that. Takes forever to unlock. But do I? Yeah, I don't even have it yet. Great. Love it. Love it. Good content. I did some maintenance before I started on my account. I still need one more of these. Actually, because I need to grind the shit out of this anyway. I'm just gonna go get this one real quick. Oh, did I already craft it? Let's hope I didn't already craft it and I'm now making a mistake. Oh god, I didn't. There. Blah 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 blah. Increase the main fleet's firepower by 24 seconds. Alright. Cannot stack with itself. V25 fires torpedoes. Yeah. These ships damage and you unplus else and damage against CVs by 10%. Yeah, but does it just stay? So I think it's just permanent. It's not even bad. It's not even bad. It's actually pretty solid. Especially because Shanos and Gneisenau are used a lot for like budget Ironblood fleets because they're so easy to get. Not even bad at all. How many of our augments are even there? What was the last one I got? I got this. Yeah. That's the next one. Huh. Oof, I don't think that skill is redeemable, or even that ship. Already got her too. This was Javelin, right? Yeah. She actually throws her Javelin once she has that argument. Okay. Let's go. You're here? Oh, okay. Before reaching the gate, Suikaku remembered a familiar scene from another mirror scene. Wait a minute, I need to drink my coffee real quick. Hold on. Coffee. It's a strong one. Huh? Is this a sanctuary? Why am I here? Remember what I said about keeping your promise? And then I died, just like that. Shokaku? No, this isn't right. The you I saw in the sanctuary wasn't real? Are you sure? Are you sure your memory is correct? Oh, is that what was the event's name? It was one of the very first events for Azur Lane. It was when Shokaku and Suikaku even got added to the game. One of the absolute first events. That got rewritten also, because it just made no sense for the direction Azur Lane was going with. That they bring this up is surprising. I thought they would just ignore a lot of the older events. Actually, never mind. Come closer, will you? You're not my sister. Who are you? Come to me, Suikaku. I've missed you. Bullcrap, I know what you're up to. This is just a nightmare, and you're the one who planted those hallucinations in Akagi and Kaga. Oh, how I wish you'd listen to your sister. Shokaku's phantom disintegrated into a black matter, which spread in all directions to engulf Suikaku. You're gonna pay for impersonating my sis. Suikaku drew her blade. In a flash of light, her Shikigami aircraft materialized and effortlessly tore through the black substance. Or she thought. The bits of matter started crawling towards each other, forming once more into several figures. Looks like you're not gonna let me walk out of this nightmare, huh? But don't think you can break my will just by outnumbering me. You're in the sanctuary after all, and this is my home turf. Come at me and do your worst. Despite her confident retorts, Suikaku tightly gripped the hilt of her sword. Oh, my ear's scratchy. Ah! The sound of wind chimes rang lightly in her ears, followed by the rhythmic, almost serene crashing of waves. Next thing she knew, she stood in front of her processing of torii gates leading into the distance. Huh, the vision changed. What is it this time? Whew, need to stop, breathe, and think for a bit. The first one was in the sanctuary with an imposter of Shokaku, and she suddenly split into a bunch of shadows. And then, yeah, I heard the sound of wind chimes, and then I was here. But it doesn't tell me a thing about where I am. As she looked around, she once again heard the sound of wind chimes from further ahead of her, up a series of stairs. She looked up the stairs and saw a fuzzy figure of a person. She squinted as the figure slowly came into focus. She suddenly felt a wave of nostalgia, warmth and safety wash over her. Wait, you're... But as soon as she reached out, she was pulled from her vision by a loud explosion. What's wrong? Why'd you stop moving all of a sudden? We're not at the gate yet. It's a bit further up ahead. Uh-huh, I'm fine. I remember the weird dream from a while ago, that's all. Sorry about it. I had to do something and didn't have any other method on hand. It's fine, don't apologize. You only did what you had to do to wake me up, and it's not like I got hurt or anything. Anyway, sorry for wasting time. Let's catch up with the others. Oh, my ear's so scratchy suddenly. Ah, horrible, disgusting. Okay. Kinda liking the OST here. Pretty good. Sort of fight banger. Also, I was so daisy old that I learned about the fast forward button. Ah, horrible. If it... I think some bug might have stung me or something, I don't know. Big cringe. Mirror C... Uwu face? I don't know. The gate vibrated as it came to life once more. Contrary to Ulrich's expectations, however, it was not the city in the sky that awaited on the other end. We didn't get to the city on the mainframe, huh? My assumptions from before were a bit optimistic after all. Hey, see that around us? The red and blue zones in the sea have swapped places. And that's not all. The Tower of Midgard seems to be perceiving that beam of light instead of emitting it. Everyone started surveying the surroundings. Indeed, everything around them had changed drastically. The city in the sky was gone without a trace, and the celestial bodies were back in their proper places. And from somewhere up on high, a pillar of light beamed endlessly into the heart of the Tower of Midgard, as if everything had been inverted. Seems like we were thrown back out between the red and blue zones, just like before. Except this time, we'd have to cross the red zone to get back to the tower. Bismarck, I believe you should confirm the properties of the water before we proceed. I agree, it would be ideal to collect samples from a few locations to assess how dangerous it is. Jade, is it possible to do that using your aircraft? It should be, I'll give it a try at least. Everyone kept their eyes on Jade's planes as it skimmed delicately over the surface of the foreboding water with a container in tow. What the hell? You can even do that with your aircraft? The Ubo is Omega? Is that the that's the... That is not the Omega symbol, is it? Wait, what? I remember the Omega symbol looking different. Isn't it like more like a open O at the bottom? Huh. Need to look that up later, but welcome back. What the hell you can... Oh, I already read that. What can I say? Good girls practice their technique. Sometime later. It's the small Omega. Oh, okay, then I'm only aware of the big one. I don't think I've seen the small one before. Ulrich rocketed the test tubes containing water samples from both the red and blue zones, analyzing them through the light coming from the Tower of Midgard. Clear and colorless, there's nothing unusual about either of them. They're both regular salt water. Wait, what? Then how come one looks red and the other doesn't? Based on what I've seen, I have reason to believe that this mirror sea has multiple states. Think about it. The column of light, the sea changing whenever we use the gate, and the sky and sea being reversed. What causes all of these phenomena are basically sets of rules imposed by the mirror sea. In other words, the water here has no inherent properties other than what the current set of rules dictates. Which is why I have two ordinary test tubes of seawater in my hands now. Let me get this straight. This place is basically projecting colors onto the sea. That's a simplified way of understanding it. Except instead of projecting a color, the mirror sea is capable of projecting properties. Wow, that's pretty crazy. How big of a projector would you need to do something on that scale? But I guess the more important question is, are these properties you're referring to dangerous? If I remember properly, Gneisenau said something about the red area seeming to be dangerous. Yes, I did feel meta-corruption coming from the red zones, but nothing from these test tubes. It certainly leads credence to your theory, but I can't say I've seen anything like this before. It wouldn't surprise me if this mirror sea is projecting information onto its surrounding environment, but it's still just a theory at this point. That's pretty crazy, but it does sound like something the Sirens would be able to pull off. Take it with a grain of salt for now. We'll need to gather more evidence before we can make any sort of conclusive claims. Then the only thing we can do is move forward, right? Yes, besides we can't just sit around here forever doing nothing. We have to return to the Tower of Midgard one way or another. Uh-oh, Bismarck, I'm detecting some enemy signals from the right behind us. They appear to be the same type as the ones we encountered when we first got here, and it's a whole army of them. Awfully convenient timing, almost if they're trying to force us into the red zone. If we're gonna have to fight them anyway, we might as well engage them on our own terms. Agreed, our resources are limited, so we should avoid fighting battles of attrition. Let's head straight for the tower, we should be far away enough to avoid the bulk of their fleet. Garion and I will do what we can to keep everyone safe, but do act quickly and decisively. Time is of the essence, let's get going. I need my coffee! I have some seep. Oh. I saw a very interesting discussion today about Otto von Alvensleben. having such a unfitting design. I didn't notice it before, but there is a different ship on the loading screens that doesn't exist. And a lot of people are speculating that that might be actual destroyer design, or like some other ship design that didn't make it into the event. And instead they took a submarine design from another ship, put it onto the destroyer, which we now have as Otto in-game, and just removed the other ship. And I think that makes actually a lot of sense. Because Otto doesn't have a destroyer design. It's a submarine design. It is incredibly obvious that she is not intended to be a destroyer originally, from how she looks. It also makes sense considering how they messed up Manchester and Emerald in the past, where they released a design for, well, basically what we now have as HMS Manchester is actually a design for HMS Emerald, where they even had the wrong ship crest, but they fixed that later. But the entire design just screams Emerald, with like literally the emeralds floating around in her artwork. So it wouldn't be the first time, so I'm actually pretty inclined to believe that this is the case that happened here too. And I think the reason also why that happened and why they specifically had a submarine design left over is that U556 meta wasn't supposed to be in the gacha. One of the feelings I had once they added metas was that they're gonna at some point run into an issue where there is so many meta ships that they wanna add or like planning to add, but the way they decided to do it with the meta battles, it just takes forever to rotate into the next ship, and then so adding them to the battle pass was the next logical conclusion. But there is still so many more that they want to pump out at some point, so putting them into gacha was inevitably gonna happen. And I think they just are trying to start putting in characters that they had just lying around for a while that couldn't be added. I was first clean all of this trash up. I like the OST in this event, it's pretty good. I like this type of music. Also, yeah, I figured out it's Hammond too, who is throwing those weird anti-sub, like the depth charges. It's probably one of her skills, but I didn't read what she exactly does again. Ifogor. I would really like to know how long the fast movement thing has been in the game. Because I think it has been in game for a while and I just never saw it. Oh yeah, also seeing Königsberg, man. I hate how she's the only one of her sisters who just never got a retrofit. At this point I kinda have lost hope she ever will. I would have loved for her to get one. Only therefore, oh, that makes sense why I never noticed it, because it's not on many maps done. I saw the button when I was doing hard mode earlier today. I was like, what is this thing? What does that mean? It's like, oh my god, they're moving so fast. Since when did they add that? They should add that in general to anything. The movement is just better that way. Now I'm waking slowly up. The coffee is starting to kick in. Was it? Was the event name of the Suikaku Shukaku event Visitors Died in Red? Because that's the name that's popping into my mind right now. I really wonder what the original plan was back in the day for the game. Because it definitely was something else than what we got over the time. But but by just going back to the old events, there really isn't much information about it. It's super ambiguous. Might just even be that they didn't have a plan at all. Which probably is very likely. Also, I found it really funny. Hi there, Groovy. I found it really funny because I earlier today also saw that apparently Azur Lane cracked the top 5 in sales on CN, and I just found it very ironic because a lot of people are very much Doom posting. Probably just historical. Like been Doom posting past few weeks, so the game is going to shut down. So I'm like, nah, it's not. It's gonna be here for a few more years. And I saw that how much revenue they did now on CN. It's like, yeah, it's not shutting down anytime soon. Despite having so many dead weeks with reruns and nothing else. And I'm convinced that all of these reruns we had in old events recently was only because of what happened with the CN client censorship. Where they just overhauled the entire game. Pew! The girls sailed forward as quickly as possible while moving in a tight formation, Bismarck and Garyon acting as sword and shield for the fleet. Despite the palpable danger of the red zone, the group was able to traverse through it without losing combat effectiveness. People are always Doom posting. The moment a game has a slight drop in revenue, no matter what the reason is, people instantly start Doom posting. And they were Doom posting a lot because a lot of events were just reruns, which I'm pretty sure there's a very clear reason why that happened. It's just annoying, man. It's every gacha game ever. Anything happens, game is gonna shut down. EOS soon. It's ridiculous. You can see when a game is going to go end of service soon, and it doesn't look like this at all. After losing a significant chunk of their pursuing forces, the sirens began to fade from sight, signaling an end to the offensive. My, autonomous rigging sure look frightening, but aren't you the goodest boy ever? Bismarck's rigging cocked its three heads, unable to understand what Yada meant. Regan's personality bends on its wielder, huh? Sensing something, Bismarck quietly placed her hand on her rigging. Traces of meta activity? Communicating with her rigging was fairly simple, as it was like her second half. She quickly noticed the response from her beacon tracker. Is something the matter, Bismarck? I like her face expressions. Regensburg has such a cute face. But man, her body is too wide. It looks so jarring. Her head is too small. I like her face, but I don't like what's below her face. She looks completely anatomically wrong. Looks like we're not the only ones out here. Another meta ship has been active here. What? Everyone instinctively turned their eyes towards Gneisenau. Please, there's no way it's me. Surely you don't think Bismarck would bring up the subject as a joke. No, you're right. Wouldn't you have sensed something though? You're a meta yourself, and you keep talking about your instincts. Unfortunately, this entire sector seems to have traces of meta corruption as far as I'm concerned, so I'm the least useful person here in that regard. Besides, we all have our own unique signals, so I have no way of recognizing someone I don't know. You have those fancy beacon trackers, don't you? I reckon you'll have better luck using those than asking me for help. About that? This was kind of an emergency operation, and meta beacon trackers don't exactly come cheap. Come to think of it, Bismarck, how'd you find this meta in the first place? I installed a beacon tracker on Garyon before we departed. I've already cross-checked the signal with our database. Whoever it is, I can safely say we've never encountered them before. Huh? You baked a beacon tracker into Garyon on top of all the insane stuff you already can do? Well, it's not that inconceivable. Garyon was specifically designed with combating meta corruption in mind, so a beacon tracker would naturally be part of his core functions. Oh, I'm so jealous, but also so impressed at the same time. Write that down, Regina! An unknown quantity, huh? Think she might be connected with that unknown entity face? I think that was unknown. It's supposed to be unknown entity instead of quantity. Huh? Can you create those black shockwaves as well? No, that's not what I meant. It's just, I think I saw something like that before. I once had a friend who was undergoing metamorphosis. She was determined to fight until her last breath. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bring back tragic memories. It's alright, few can put up a fight against that kind of power. In any case, if these energy traces are still fresh, the person behind it should still be nearby, and expect her to wield tremendous power. Strong by meta standards? Think it might be one of the ashes? One of the ashes could certainly fit the bill. Unlike us, they don't care about their collateral damage. They would have no issue with raising the whole tower should it stand in their way. If she's anything like Scharnhorst, there's a good chance we can negotiate with her. Should worst come to worst and we're forced to fight an arbiter, she could be the ace up our sleeve. Hell, maybe she even knows where Friedrich's gone off to. I know what I saw in that hallucination wasn't real, but I still want to know. In hindsight, it makes sense. We probably weren't the unknown enemy's intended targets. Whoever this meta is, we should look for her. I'll do it, just give me the order. If she's from the ashes, she should sympathize with the situation we're in. Ah, yes. Whether she ultimately ends up being a friend or a foe, this is a lead where we at least should pursue. But first, we need to make sure we're in a safe area. Head for the tower of Midgard's control room. Stumbling over my words today. I'm more curious if it is a new meta ship that's being teased soon for a new meta battle, or it's just someone we're already aware of. Vestal meta is the next one in the battle pass, I think. I don't think it is known what ship will replace QE currently in the meta fight, I think. Algeria is the next Opsi meta. Okay, true, I forgot about her. Yeah. Algerie also was super not recognizable as being her. Just seeing her artwork, I had no fucking clue who she was for quite a while. But yeah, not surprising that she's getting a meta. She looked pretty cool though. Would be funny if they did some really obscure ships again as metas or something. Just give me like a ranger meta or something. Really? I kinda had issues seeing her there. But I also have not looked at her meta artwork in a while, so I might just be misremembering. Ah. For a second I wanted to say we don't have a destroyer with a meta version, but that's wrong. That's wrong. There's Hunter and Fortune. But we don't have a destroyer that is a actual meta battle fight. They were both from the battle pass. Give me Karlsruhe meta. She is one of my absolute OG waifus. I need her to be better. I want her to get a meta that's worth using. It's all I dream of. Just let me use her again. For heavy cruiser, true, there is none else, yeah. There's no heavy cruisers right now. Yeah. It's a lot of backliners, carriers and battleships, especially battleships. And yeah, Helena is light cruiser, La Galissonier is, yeah. There's also Jinsu, who's unreleased as far. Mirror Sea, Omega Phase. Lord Bismarck, wouldn't it be smart to patrol the area? No need, I'll have my hands full with touching up Regensburg's rigging. In the meantime, I want to discuss the Mirror Sea structure with someone. Will you stay? Of course! I'd do anything if it helps you out. Alright, and I'd like you to tell me what you think this place is. What it is... Don't think too hard, just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. In that case, a loop? Maybe an hourglass? Yeah, I think it's like an hourglass. An hourglass. A really, really big one. Like, you know how at first everything was red other than the area around the tower? Every time we use the gate, we end up in the same place, but the Red Sea was getting closer. Then we used it again after seeing the upside down city, the red and blue were reversed. So I think the tower is the middle of the hourglass and the gate is the passage of time. The sea starts at blue, then gradually becomes red. And when it's all turned red, the hourglass is flipped, turning red sea back into blue sea. I've got it! If the Red Sea is sand, then us passing through the gate is what lets it fall through. I mean, look at the tower. Its light beam has changed from blue to red. I think that indicates what's on the other side of the hourglass. And maybe the reason we saw the upside down city is because we were standing on top of the sand. This mirror sees an hourglass, and the Red Sea represents sand falling down. Using the gate only transports us through time, not space, during which sand falls down, expanding the Red Sea. Hang on, that reminds me. Yeah, we were looking for Ulrich when we first arrived, and there was no Red Sea here at all. Oh, and you were sleepwalking at the time, so it's natural you wouldn't remember it. Well, I can't be 100% sure. I think Yade was the first to observe the Red Sea. All I remember from my episode is going through the gate and heading straight for Control Center. No, wait, there's one more thing. Those giant cubes. I don't remember them being there. Huh, that's weird. Gneisenau definitely saw them when we first got here. If what Ulrich said is true, and the cubes aren't based on some kind of timetable, we must have done something to cause them to appear. Ulrich said that when she first arrived, there was no sign of the Red Sea or those floating cubes. After Ulrich activated the tower, Suikaku and Gneisenau came through and saw the floating cubes, but not the Red Sea. By the time I arrived, the Red Sea was already present. With each activation of the tower, the red area grew more and more. When we saw the upside down city, that must have been when all the sand had passed through one phase. Then there's the corrosion effect of the Red Sea, the metamorphosis phenomenon, and the unknown enemies that appear from the red waters. But if we assume that this Mirror Sea houses a Siren Arbiter's mainframe, why would those things be here? Unless... Oh my god! What's wrong, Lord Bismarck? You look pale! I think my guess might be wrong after all? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry. I'm working with a number of assumptions here, but it's best if we act quickly. Come with me, you 556. We're going back to the control center. Some it's Tirpitz. What is that? In place of the previous vision of Friedrich, the dome in the central control room displayed a new, rather ill-boding image. All of Ironblood has been defeated? Heaps of wreckage is floating in a burning sea. Among them were the girls of Ironblood, including Bismarck's sister, Tirpitz. Calm down, it's not real. My corrosion sensor's responding though. This place really does connect to the throat of the hourglass. Beep, beep, beep. Bismarck, we finished surveying the nearby waters. There seems to be nothing of note here. The other Meta's trail also seems to have vanished, I'm afraid. Don't draw conclusions just yet, Gneisenau. We're bound to find a lead on her if we keep looking. I admire her drive, but pursuing a wild goose chase will only squander our finite resources. If the Meta is here, we'll run into her sooner or later. If she's already left, we'll gain nothing by searching for her. Alright, we'll head back to the tower. Meet me at the gate. I have a theory I'd like to prove. Are you sure about this, Lord Bismarck? It'll be fine. The corruption in the control center is dormant for now. Now, as for my theory, use your communicator to relay a message to everyone. I strongly believe this Mirror Sea is structured like an hourglass. We are going to test if the gate advances the passage of time and makes the Red Sea, symbolizing sand, expand or not. If the Red Sea does not expand, or if this thins out, that means we're on the top side of the hourglass. Ah, so once all the sand is gone, we can safely investigate the city at the hourglass's throat. I've not made my mind on that just yet. We need to find a way to get there too. As I was saying, conversely, if the Red Sea does expand, that means we are on the bottom side. We must find a way out of this place as soon as possible before the corruption bears down on us. Alright then. Oh, it's getting cold in my room. Oh, wait, gonna use the fast forward button. Mirror Sea Omega phase. Oh! Whoops. The Tower of Midgard glowed brightly, and the party once again stepped through the gate. Bismarck, the red zone is even bigger this time. It even looks like we were dropped off farther away from the tower than before. Does that mean we've basically moved backwards? It's as if the sand falling from the top keeps pushing us further and further away. Going with our working theory, yes. So basically, the corrupting stuff is raining from the sky? Not literally, but expect to see it manifest in the form of that black mist from before, perhaps that unknown enemy. Rawr! Speak of the devil. Yeah, my aircraft have spotted something too. A swarm of indiscernible blobs are pouring out from the tower. They're heading straight for us. First they went for the tower, now they're coming out of it. What a bother. Karma must be mad at me for being such a good girl all the time. What shall we do, Bismarck? Run for our lives? These things seem to be able to materialize hull corroding attacks. I don't want to push my luck with them twice. On the other hand, the corrosion here isn't as bad as I expected. Depending on how we fight them, we may be able to gather some valuable data. Ulrich, take command. Bombard them to slow them down. What are you planning to do? I have a theory I'd like to test. With me, Garyon! Rawr! Garyon's thrusters roared to life, and Bismarck broke formation to charge straight ahead. Right into the mass of writhing amorphous foes. Bismarck? What is she thinking? She's the only one here who can neutralize their hull corroding attacks. Most likely she intends on using this opportunity to analyze exactly what those enemies are, up close and personal. Everyone give her the space she needs. Don't let those enemies overwhelm Bismarck. Although the colossal size of Bismarck's rigging made her an easy target, she managed to approach the enemy without taking much damage at all, thanks to her fleet's covering fire. Without a moment to hesitate, she engaged anti-hull corrosion measures and closed in. Even this close, I can't make out any details. The very beings seem to defy description. Now let's see how you respond to this! She stretched her hand out, palm aimed straight at the enemy. It responded almost like a parasite that had found a new host. Emerging from its old one, it turned into a single string of mist before Bismarck absorbed it with her hand. It felt like nothing in her hand, like grasping smoke. Just as I thought, the scent isn't so tough. Garyon, can you keep going? Rawr! Good boy. If you're worried about me, don't be. I know to stop before I reach my limit. Rawr! Simply shooting them shouldn't work if this is all they're made of. Time for the others to shine. Let's go. I kinda wonder. I kinda would be funny if Bismarck 2 has voice lines where Garyon makes sounds. I kinda wanna hear that. Just menacing, screaming sounds. But I don't think she has a voice line like that, and I don't think they would even do that. I also like how Ironblood at this point went from normal rigging to rigging with some shark teeth. Full shark, and now it's just dragons at this point. It just keeps escalating more and more. It's like sharks are not cool enough, we need something better. I have it, a dragon. Give that man a promotion, yeah, the best idea! Is my coffee empty? No, there's still some more left. Oh. Ah. I wonder at some point the Northern Parliament riggings will also get more ridiculous. They already are. Would be. I hope they turn into a different kaiju monster, not a dragon, to kind of have them different from each other. Would probably be a bit more cool to have them like just a little bit more different, because so far all of them look very dragon-like. Man, my skin is terrible, it's scratching. I probably won't be able to do all the cutscenes, honestly. Because a lot of cuts, I specifically mean the cutscenes that you get for multiple times clearing the last stage. Because I'm not gonna grind on stream. Because I also don't grind on manual mode, let's be honest. But I'll try to also do the hard mode stages today. Especially because I will lose out on the first day special stage 800 points otherwise. So lane resets for me at 9 in the morning. So considering how late second part unlocks, Europe usually misses the entire first day. Unless you're determined enough to like stay up, which I'm doing right now. Yeah. I mean, I'll be able to do most cutscenes. Usually it's only like three cutscenes that are from clearing the stage multiple times. Sadly, it's usually the most interesting cutscenes for the multiple clears. I'm only do hard mode to save time. I forgot that I can do that actually. But it's fine. It's fine. In hard mode I also can't really train up those fleets I made. Or at least like not use them really. Because I'll be honest, in hard mode I just click recommended ships and watch the world burn. Also normal mode has the ×3 bonus. It's just better for points. Because if I don't do the normal mode then I will miss out on those and they're just more valuable than saving time with the hard mode. I'm not worried about oil. I'm not worried about that. I've been sitting on too much oil for the past few weeks. I started spamming the 1200 oil commission just to somehow use some up. I even on purpose kept buying very expensive food for oil and stock up on it just to get rid of it. And I still have some more in my mailbox. Oh, thanks for follow. Thanks. Hello there. But yeah, oil is my least concern. So far I like it. So far I like it a lot. Music is pretty good, I like the ships, and the story is interesting. Give a 3 times bonus. Yeah, but the thing is that getting the 3 times bonus still saves me a lot of time of just like, I just do the normal mode and then I just quickly rush through the hard mode to get the special mode and then I just stop. I don't actively grind events that much. I just get the bonuses and the special stage. I don't buy out a shop basically. There's no point in me doing that. I just get the 8,000 points, see if I need to buy the ship at the end of the event or not. And everything else, usually I just ignore. Because there's nothing in the shop I need. At all. I have finished every blueprint ship. They're all maxed out. I don't need those. I don't need the gearboxes. I don't need the EXP shards for the arguments. And yeah, so basically there's nothing I want to buy from this. Bismarck, we've taken out most of those things. So did you get the answer to your theory? Unfortunately no, but I didn't leave him empty-handed. What I did learn is that those things are not sirens of any kind that we know of. They appear more to be rough projections from some sort of entity, but it's as if our psyches are trying to reject them outright. While it's possible we're not designed to be able to perceive them, I fear they might be beings that transcend our cognition. Until we can shed light on their true form, I propose we call them shades for now. In any case, we should try to steer clear of them until we have a better idea of what we're up against. Projections? You mentioned that before. Yes, think of them as the shadows cast off from light. There's one more thing I learned, and it's where we are in the hourglass. So in short, the farther the Red Sea expands, the likelier we are into those manifestations of corruption. Damn those sirens, their schemes just get more and more convoluted. Unless the corruption is somehow separate? What even is this corruption we keep talking about? Is it a reason why we have been hallucinating? Very likely. The last battle all but confirmed it for me. Corruption is advanced corrosion of the hull. In other words, the energy of metamorphosis. The corrosion likely started to spread when Ulrich activated the Tower of Midgard, and has grown with each subsequent excavation. When the corrosion reaches a critical threshold, those shades from before start to appear. So let me get this straight. The shades are an external corruption affecting the sirens as well. Is that why the sirens are trying to fight them off as well? That makes sense, which also explains why the Hermit's vessels were largely ignoring us earlier and focusing on the tower instead. They are most likely trying to destroy it to sever the source of the corruption. So now my question is, how did the corruption get inside in the first place? If this really is an external attack on the Arbiter's mainframe, how is it ever going to reach an upside-down city? It could have something to do with why we are brought here in the first place. Our initial assessment that this whole thing is a trap appears to be correct, but it wasn't a trap laid by the Hermit. The Arbiter themselves are being targeted. Really? Do you think the Ashes are behind it? Maybe it has something to do with that unidentified meta? Unlikely, even with all the tools in their arsenal, that kind of conceptual attack isn't something I associate with the Ashes. It's still possible they're responsible, given that not all metas share the same goal. But if they want to spread corruption through repeated use of the gate, they wouldn't need our help to do it. I'm more inclined to believe that, like us, they were also lured in here. Wait, Bismarck, it just dawned on me. The nightmares originated in our floating fortress, right? In other words, whoever it is that launches attack against an Arbiter mainframe is somewhere out there in our world. I'm afraid so. At least their actions were disruptive enough to leave a lasting mark. Damn it, we need to get back there this instant. We still have allies out there who don't know about the dangers we might be facing. If there's anything you should have learned in my absence, is that Iron Blood will continue to move forward with or without my will. For now, we need to focus on escaping so that nobody else gets caught up in this plot. The longer we take, the stronger the shades will get. But how on earth are we supposed to get out of here? We cannot use the Tower of Midgard any longer. Whoever set us up clearly factored our reliance upon the tower into their plans. It's hard to say what will happen once this entire Mirror Sea becomes a red zone, given what we currently know about its dangers. In any case, we need to keep moving, but perhaps not in the same way as before. This whole time, we've been fixated on the Tower of Midgard as a singular, notable destination here, giving us the illusion that there's only one route. But I also had Garyon searching for traces of the unknown meta during the previous battle. And believe it or not, there were no traces of meta energy. In other words, the unknown Meta took a completely different path from us that does not go through the Tower of Midgard. Finding that path is the next crucial step we must take. I need to drink something. Oh. Oh, better. Are you certain? I haven't seen anything that could possibly house something like a gate other than the tower. So it seems, but remember where we found Suikaku and Gneisenau? They weren't in there. The two of them blacked out inside the control center, yet Bismarck's party found them somewhere else entirely. Perhaps they were subjected to hallucination and moved after losing consciousness, but that's all the more reason to investigate it. Why does the dome projector in the control room display a specific image to everyone who sees it, while everyone else has their own individual nightmares? What I'm inclined to believe is that not all hallucinations come from the same source. Perhaps the hallucinations themselves are similar to the way things are projected across this mirror sea. If the corruption can travel through the control room, it may also be a channel we can utilize. At the very least, it's worth investigating. But yeah, about the shop, I only need to buy this ship, need to buy these. I don't buy gear skins unless I like them, and these ones I don't like, I think they look shit. I don't need any of these. I don't even need cognitive ships, honestly. I have enough of them. Even the arrays, I don't need them. I refuse to buy Kels, I never buy them. I don't need any blueprints, because I finished all the priority ships already. I don't need these EXP points at all. I don't even need the plates. Maybe I grab some money and some oil to make it faster. It's, I just genuinely did nothing out of each event. Where even is my fleet power? I'm curious. Yeah, 1708, I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying at this point. It's just when you play long enough, everything is possible. And once I have Yada, I'm back at 100% collection. I also very luckily back then got New Orleans. I got her very quickly. It was one of the quickest SSR drops that I got. Which is pretty nice because I don't like World 14. Oh, hello there! You're a map drop now. Interesting. Yeah, the thing with fleet power is, I'm honestly just too lazy. I have a fuck ton of gear, but I don't care to farm more of the optimal gear. It's not really a point to it. I already have enough sets to equip the ships that matter. So yeah. I only keep the gearboxes, for example, around if there is a ultra rare event emergency where I need to quickly get more coins. That's the only time I ever even use them anymore. Man, it was so painful. Like back when Shinano came out, and I think the same thing happened with another gacha ultra rare. I'm not sure which one it was anymore. But basically, I was sitting there for hours, opening gearboxes to sell the gear for coins. Actual hours. It was so miserable. Yeah, it's about getting dupes, exactly. There's no point in doing that. It is to just get as much of the good gear as possible, you just grind it out and then you just take the few already high fleet power ships and just keep them equipping over and over. Why bother? Just compete by no competing, Taphead. The real endgame is of how many horny skins do you own. That's the real endgame. The endgame is sitting in a train, publicly playing this game with stuff like polar swimsuit skin on the main screen. Talking from experience, by the way. I have no shame. I just really wish nearly all of them. Woo! I just really wish it was a bit easier to get SSR booleans. I think that's the one thing that I really need that I can't get much. They are very limited. Love me some good skins. I'm just waiting for the next batch of party dresses. Of very fancy stuff. I love those. Swimsuit or Anzen? Pff, trash. Garbage. Kuma bait for gems. Nah. Give me that real shit. Give me a hot waifu in a suit. But I don't have dupes. If I had dupes, I didn't need the bullets. That's the thing. What dupes? Gone. Let me check how many ships I actually need to limit break anymore. Oh, my lips just keep drying out so fast. The control center is ahead. Ulrich, I need your help. Can I now take command while I'm gone? Secure the tower of Midgard and make sure the control room is safe. Me, but alright, I'll do as you say. Tower of Midgard, control center. The two stepped into the command center. The projector's dome surface still continued to reflect the annihilated Ironblood fleet. Is this why you kept everyone away? Yes, sometimes even fiction is not meant for everyone's eyes. Yeah, even if we rationally know something to be false, it is far harder to avoid having our emotions compromised. You brought me because I've already experienced this once, so it won't have the same effect on me, right? It's not the only reason I brought you. Remember the overnight mess you told me about before? The Black Sun, the tower calling out to you, Friedrich lying dead in the water. Out of those three, only two were purposely meant to spur your interaction. The third one with Friedrich is the odd one out. If anyone else here hadn't seen it on the dome, they'd immediately dismiss it as fake. And yet, it showed it to you. It even showed it to me. It showed it to you. It did. When I had that same nightmare, I caught a glimpse of what's controlling it. That's when something happened. As soon as I tried to attack it in the nightmare, that Arbiter vessel began attacking us in reality. In other words, the nightmare on the screen is connected to the mirror sea and... That's right. In fact, what we see here might not be a nightmare at all, but rather a stable space that can be entered, exited and manipulated. Which brings me back to a conclusion both Tsuikaku and Queen Elizabeth reached independently. Mirror seas seem to be malleable through conceptualization. If this mirror sea shares a similar property, as long as we grasp this mirror sea's framework, we should be able to use the concepts of an hourglass to direct us to the throat. I'm going to try something. During this time, I have no way of knowing what is taking place around me. Wake me up if you're under attack or if I've been inside for too long. Alright then, don't get yourself killed. Bismarck reached out to touch the screen, and the scenery in front of her rippled like the surface from a lake. In an instant, the boundary between reality and dream blurred together once more. So yeah, let me check what I actually need to upgrade still. Can limit break. Yeah, these are the only ones. Not many left. Not many left. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 ships! I only need to limit break 11 SSR plus the new Iron Blood ships, and then that's it. Then I'm fully done. Yeah, I'm actually just done. Okay. Oh, I didn't get this last one here. Well, if it isn't Vestal. The air wafting above the ocean, still hot and rancid, irritating the nostrils. Bismarck rose to her feet and slowly looked around her. Garyon rumbled with a hint of mechanical sorrow, whipping up a gale with its steel wings to clear the surrounding smoke and flame. There, in front of him, lay a lifeless phantasm in the image of Bismarck's sister. Tirpitz. One of the dragon rigging's 3 heads brushed up against her head as if telling her to snap out of it. Don't worry, I know none of this is real. I know it isn't, but still. Bismarck took a deep breath before turning around and mounting her rigging. Garyon's wings flapped and his engines fired, and the two gradually rose from the water's surface. Let's do what we came here for. Clear the mist and show us the way forward. Roar! The wall of black mist along the outer border of the nightmare receded before the dragon's storm. I don't see the aircraft from before, but there indeed is a path forward. Bismarck followed through the path into the mist opened by Garyon. The deeper she went in, the more the boundaries of the sea seemed to expand, seemingly reaching a scale of unfathomable proportions. After what felt like ages, a light finally appeared in front of her. Rawr! Sensing the significance of this discovery through his owner's excitement, Guillaume let out a low growl and accelerated the direction of the light. This must be the way to the hourglass's throat. Without a hint of hesitation, Bismarck rushed directly through the light. Not only in a nightmare, but also in reality. That's a very different OST suddenly. Interesting. Oh yeah, right. Vestal's framework of logic, isn't she? Which are like the weirdest meta ships so far, because they make no fucking sense. I'm just kind of listening to the song. That's interesting. It feels so weird. Memphis is the other one. There's only so far Arizona, Memphis, and now Vestal. We know nothing about Arizona. She doesn't have any story relevance yet. Memphis just appeared in the Yorktown 2 event, where honestly we learned nothing about her. She just was, honestly, she just existed. She existed and was sad. That's it. And now Vestal. Wait a minute. I think Yorktown Meta is a framework of logic ship. Yorktown Meta is, I think. We've only seen her once in a cutscene. I don't even know whose event exactly was, and it wasn't outright stated. But I think if I remember right, this has been quite a while. I think it was implied that she is not with the Ashes, but someone else. I think she is a framework of logic, because that's the only other faction. Which also makes sense. In a weird way, it makes sense for me that she would be. Yeah, Memphis seems pretty hard. There are three factions. There is Ashes, there is Framework, and the last one I forgot. I think the last one is just everyone else that just kinda does their own things, kinda? Everyone else seems just kinda be on their own. Soryu is just bananas in the head. He's just insane. Currently. Who else? Shanos and Gneisenau, they kinda just rejoined into Ironblood. 4. I have no fucking clue who the other two are. When the blinding light faded, Bismarck opened her eyes once more to an apocalyptic hellscape. Beneath dilapidated structures, half submerged beneath the water, she saw the lonesome figure of a person. She was clad in religious attire, her back turned towards Bismarck. Her melancholic features were reflected onto the water by the ashen sun. Scattered around her were a number of glistening gemstone-like objects. Roar! Who is that? Bismarck signaled for Garen to stand down, approaching the girl alone. Even as the girl's face came clearly into view, Bismarck's attention was instantly drawn to the objects around her. Wisdom cubes? Flickering light, the single ones. Yeah, that's like the lonely, like the just basically just a factionless. That's kind of just like ships without a faction meta-wise. Why does this have to happen? Yo! She's not wearing panties! Damn, girl! I was completely useless. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We were the ones fighting on the front lines. So why is it that I get to live on? We were supposed to get better. My job was to ensure that all of you survive. But I failed, and now I'm the only one left. Galisonia is part of the Ashes. She outright said that. Galisonia's Ashes. Sinners of Hope are just, I think... Yes, Sinners of Hope are those who returned to being part of a faction. Flickering Light is just the single ones. Yeah. And Framework of Logic is just sad girls so far. Because if Vestal is one, and Memphis, their behavior is just being sad. What point is there to go on without you? No, maybe there's still time. I've gathered up this many pieces of you already. I just need to put you back together in the right order. I will bring you back, even if nothing of your old selves remain. The muttering woman suddenly fell to her knees and started scrabbling to gather the glittering fragments I've possessed. What's the matter? What happened here? The woman ignored her. Blood dripped from her hands that didn't stop her searching for more glimmers of hope. This is not a phantasm. She's real. If she is a ship girl who's been trapped in this place. Excuse me? I need to talk to you. Bismarck gestured to Geryon, and the dragon let out a roar in an attempt to rouse the girl. Her expression cleared for a moment. Then the girl blinked and slowly turned to face Bismarck. Her tragic expression changed to a look of surprise, if only for a moment. This was once one of the largest, most prosperous cities. Now it is nothing more than rubble beneath your feet. Over there is NY Port. On the other side is where some of the world's most renowned architecture once stood. Never thought I'd see another ship girl touring this place. Pleased to meet you. I am Repair Ship Vestal. I'm Battleship Bismarck of the Iron Blood. I take it you are Meta? That I am, yes. Why are you here? I could ask you the same. What brought you to this place? I'm trying to save my comrades. Your comrades? Not yourself? Vestal reached forward and gently placed her hand on Bismarck's rigging. So that's why. You are unlike the others. Her curiosity piked. Vestal stood up and looked intently into Bismarck's eyes. You're hanging in there, but you must know that it's only a matter of time. I know. Shh. Just listen to my diagnosis for now. The wisdom cube constituting your hull has undergone severe corrosion. So severe that there are no known means to restore it to its original state. But you are capable of shifting the concept of Bismarck into an external augmented hull to avoid damage to your own wisdom cube. Am I correct? How do you know all of that? Simple, I too am not the same person I used to be. If it's an ingenious idea, but as long as you keep fighting, the corruption will continue to consume your hull. No matter how cautious you are, it will only get worse. Vestal gently caressed the steel beast. Garen silently lowered its head, like an animal comfortable with being stroked. What are you doing? Geryon, a warrior, but also kind-hearted cattle herder. What a lovely name. His free concepts suit him perfectly too. I reinforced his frame a little to allow him to endure as much corruption as possible. Don't worry, this treatment is free. Not just that, we also made him run smoother. Is this your unique power as a Meta? Now, I assume you have other questions for me. Not to be rude, but have you realized that this place is an illusion? Thanks to you, this is a vision produced by the Tower of Midgard, no? I sensed something was wrong with the tower, so I came to investigate. Unfortunately, that's how I ended up here. Good, we're on the same page then. How do you plan to get out? I don't have a plan at the moment. I can't fix the distortion at the root of this mirror sea, much less break out on my own. My allies would surely know what to do, but on my own, I'm helpless. If I could just contact them, maybe they could come and rescue me. But for the time being, we are on our own. What if I offer to help you? I see no reason to refuse. But just so we're clear, I'm not one of the Ashes. I overheard your conversation earlier and apologize for the confusion. Meaning, you're the unidentified Meta whose signal we picked up. Indeed, I am. I wish I could tell you where Friedrich is, but I do not know. At least it saves us time in getting you up to speed. I'm guessing you know what's at the throat of the hourglass too? You mean the Upside Down City? Did you see it as well? In all its glory. What? Do you what the tower in the middle of it is? I think there's a no missing. I suspect it's the Mirror Sea's control device. With all due respect, why didn't you investigate it when you had the chance? We only just figured out this place is structured like an hourglass. Back then, we didn't know it was important. We were so focused on the Tower of Midgard, we assumed that was our key to getting out. But the tower itself is part of the trap, and using it only caused us to sink deeper into it. And so you went diving into hallucinations, looking for answers, just like me. Actually, I already developed a theory before coming here. I could explain it, but the details might be lost on you if you're not up to the date on sirens. By all means, let's hear it. Alright, to start with. Using the power of concepts to move between dimensions similar to the corruption. I thought only Helena could do something like that. Helena? Oh, just thinking out loud. Your theory seems fairly sound. If you can analyze the structure of an illusion, then the illusion itself can be considered a pathway of sorts. Given the proper methods, it is only its consciousness that can pass through, but perhaps even matter. The very thing that keeps us trapped is also our key to escape. Yes, well put. You passed through 2 sets of visions on your way here, did you not? Following the trail of visions may actually lead us to the hourglass's throat. But first, would you please show me back your vision of your origin? Of course, Garyon, send us back. Okay. Oh wait, this is in battle. Maybe that's in the fleet tech they got added. Oh, they're now split? I didn't check that yet. I'm gonna check that out after this stage. But yeah, Galistonia's said she was one of the metas in the event. And that she was kinda new to them. But then again, she was also sus as all hell. So who knows? This is Elizabeth, at least according to Fleet Tech. With Cinders! To give up Elizabeth. I already assumed that Elizabeth and Elizabeth Meta were in cahoots together. But yeah, that means that Galistonier was basically lying in the event, which makes sense. Because she was withholding a lot of information. After the blinding light faded, a new illusion appeared in front of Bismarck. This time, a group of ship girls were breaching the enemy line to the peal of roaring cannons. I've lost contact with Thüringen's squadron. Lady Friedrich, things are looking dire. We won't last much longer. The time isn't right. You must keep fighting. They're surrounding us. Intercept them. Here I thought you'd at least come prepared. What a joke. Disappear. One by one, the members of Friedrich's fleet were engulfed by continuous, overwhelming artillery fire. Have you been shaken by this vision? No, I'm thinking about how all of these visions seem to be connected. Were these visions truly fabricated or are they based on reality? It's not impossible. Originally, these visions were just a way for sirens to store information. Some of their contents are from simulations run by the mainframe, while others are records from actual events in the experimental field. Later on, sirens would go on to weaponize these visions just as they did with all technology at their disposal, much like the mirror sees. Or they could be things that happened in other branches. A keen observation. I didn't expect you to ask me a question from this angle. What if I were to tell you yes? All the more reason to not dwell on it. Getting back on topic. Assuming these visions are all connected through temporal continuity, I suspect that we are seeing them in the reverse order. So if my theory about traveling through concepts is correct, following these visions should lead us to their source. Indeed, we might already know the way to move backwards. You mentioned something earlier about a black aircraft beyond the mist, yes? I think I have an idea of where to find it. If I remember right, it should be this way. Let's go, Garyon! Bismarck engaged her engines and followed the vision's foggy boundary line. Garyon flapped its wings to create another blast of wind. Its movements seemingly smoother and more flexible than before. The obscuring veil parted to reveal multiple jet black siren aircraft. The instant they spotted Bismarck, they scattered and began to flee. You're not getting away this time! Garyon! There's no need for that. I already know how those planes belong to. Does it start with Bonn and end in Homer Richard? They belong to an arbiter. Oh, never mind. Arbiter the Devil, 15. The Devil, not the Hermit? We're dealing with not one, but 2 arbiters now. I'm afraid we'll need to gather more intel. First though, the way out of the vision is open. Let's get out of here. After passing through the light again, Bismarck once again found herself in front of the Tower of Midgard and the inverted city in the sky. This isn't where we are supposed to be. I must have taken a wrong turn. Your devil is cute, I absolutely agree. She was a pretty cool arbiter so far. Are we still dreaming? This doesn't feel real to me. We're not. I can confidently say that this is reality. But why did we end up here? Outside of interference? Or is it a corruption affecting Bismarck's hull? Don't worry about your allies. We'll meet up with them soon. There it is. This place is where the Hermit's mainframe is. There's no mistaking it. The Mirror Sea, the Upside Down City, and that massive tower. That's it. We must have been sent here by someone who wants the mainframe destroyed. Perhaps so. One thing is for sure. Your presence here has made attacking the mainframe much easier. Oh, I've regained connection. I can talk with my allies again. It must mean the Tower 16 still hasn't gained full control of this place. After breathing a sigh of relief, Vestal punched the number and the code into her communicator. Helena, can you hear me? Vestal, thank goodness you're alive. Oh right, she also was Logic. I forgot about her being Logic. Where are you right now? What's the status? The good news is I'm in the Mirror Sea that houses the Hermit's mainframe. As for the bad news, matters have gotten complicated. Bismarck is here and we spotted aircraft belonging to the Devil. The Devil? An Arbiter 15, correct? Yes, I don't know why she's here, but it's a very bad sign. I'll send you all the intel I've gathered now while I still can. There's no telling how long this collection will remain stable. Deep breaths, Vestal. Let me just... There, got your intel. Now that's an interesting quandary. There's a whole Ironblood fleet out there. How did I get in? Hang on, I'll send you some data of my own. I'll help you out of the situation you're in. Okay, I received your data. Wait, how's that possible? The Devil already has full acknowledge of the Ash's movements? We don't know for sure, but we have to work under the assumption that she does. We've already sent a rescue team after you, but I'm afraid the place you're stuck in is impossible to infiltrate from the outside. The only way I can help you is by hacking the Mirror Sea to your benefit. The Hermit has a vessel stationed near her mainframe. Find and destroy it as soon as you can. In the meantime, I'll do whatever I can. Okay, I'm on it. I'm sorry about all this, I shouldn't have sent you there. Don't apologize, I'll be okay. Who was that? Helena, our old reliable. I'm sure you have many questions, but let me cut to the chase. First and foremost, Friedrich is alive and well. She and the Ashes are currently engaging the Hermit. While she was away, another Arbiter, the Devil, infiltrated her mainframe. As for why she do that, I cannot say. All I know is she's causing damage to the Hermit, while the latter is pinned down by the Ashes. Causing damage to her? Are you saying there's infighting between the Arbiters? No, not infighting. All the Arbiters are zero sub-programs. They would never turn on each other in the conventional sense. But that may change if there's a special experiment involved. In any case, this is the first time we've ever witnessed something resembling conflict between Arbiter programs. Whatever her reason, it works in our favor. Won't we be rid of the Hermit for good if her mainframe is destroyed? If only it were that simple. Should that be the case, the Arbiters would have been wiped out long ago. This is but one of many mainframes, and we have no way of knowing how many she has or where they are hidden. However, if you're only interested in obtaining or tampering with certain pieces of information, invading the mainframe certainly is the most efficient method. At least that's what Helena suspects. Then is the Devil behind all of this? The nightmares, the weaponization of hull corrosion, and the vision of Friedrich we just saw before. Actually, some of those things are parts of the Hermit's arsenal, which may signify that the Devil has begun to gain control of her mainframe. As for the use of meta-corruption, this has only been observed in relation to the Devil. Maybe there's something to do with the Devil's current condition. That's speculation, and even we can't say for sure one way or the other. Ultimately, her presence here isn't entirely beneficial to us. If we were to bump heads with her, we stand no chance of winning. Her vessels are a different story though. We can defeat those if we work together. That much I already know. We ran into one of the Hermit's vessels earlier and took care of it. But since she only sent a vessel, she mustn't be too alarmed by us being here. Pardon? You fought one of the Hermit's vessels? Yeah, is that a problem? Well, no. Like you said, it just means she doesn't consider you a serious threat. At any rate, it's time we reunited with your allies. Let's get moving. Alright, by the way, what you said about my rigging earlier? I know, I won't tell them about it. Let me check them real quick, I need to see. Let me check the metas. There they are. Flickering light. Yeah, these ones are just kinda their own. They're like singular. They're like on their own. We have not seen Trento and Yamashiro. U556 is literally just the U556 from our own timeline. Soryu is fucking insane. Ashen. Okay, Sheffield is here. Junju and Hio. Wait, what? No, Helena is Ashen. Huh? Also, this doesn't scroll properly. Wait, so is Helena just on two sides at the same time? Logic and Ashen. Alright then. Also, Repulse and Renown are in the Ashes. Same as Fuso. And Cinders of Hope is... These who have rejoined. Hunter and Fortuna here. This kinda is very, it's really weird. This one is really weird. Because for one, it's hard to figure out what the fuck the Battle Pass metas are doing. So, interesting to see where they are. That means Lagalisonia has light in the past, for one. And Helena is just kinda what the hell is going on, because she's Ashes, but she's also Framework of Logic, apparently. According to the story. So, yeah, alright then. Okay. Yeah, metas are kinda a bit rough to follow. Anyway, moving on. Sometime later, in the tower of Midgard's control center. The hell? Who are you? Forgive me, you couldn't have anticipated my arrival. I am Vestal, though not the Vestal you know. Well met, Ulrich von Hutten. She's the unknown meta we were searching for before. Ulrich, gather everyone. I'll explain what we are going to do next. The devil wants the hermit's power, so she called us here and crippled the mainframe using her corruption? And to get out of here, we'll need Helena Meta to hack the mainframe for a while. Seems the arbiters are so despicable, they've started fighting each other. Hey, just be happy we didn't have to duke it out with one of the kingpins. In fact, it doesn't seem like either of the two have plans on annihilation. Tarkov will still pose a threat to us. Especially so, considering her arsenal of support aircraft is the most advanced out of any Arbiter or Siren, period. The commander must have warned you about their capabilities. Oh, there was a little hiccup in the stream, but it seems to be fine now. Yeah, the information you provided will be useful too. The devil must know we are here, seeing how far the Red Sea has expanded. Our window of time to get out of here shrinks with every passing minute. Speaking of which, Bismarck, the sea didn't expand while you were gone. The gate didn't activate a single time, it was only just before you got back that the sea grew red. Either the devil is trying to put pressure on us, or the corruption has reached critical mass. Which means our time is running out, we need to get moving immediately. We must defeat the Hermit's vessel before the devil gains full control over the mainframe. If we take too long, we will be trapped in here forever. Now, let's access the database in the control center. It should take us to the hourglass's throat. One quick thing before we do that. Could you examine this one? Bismarck held U556's hand and led her to Vestal. Ah, U556, yes? You told me about her. I sensed the corrosion eating away at her hull. But wait, it's not past the point of no return. Vestal felt a little confused, seeing such a bright smile on a body so clearly tarnished by the corruption. She suffered damage to her hull long ago, and the Red Sea's corrosion suddenly reopened and aggravated her old wounds. Ended her vision and managed to cleanse the external corruption, but she's still in this form. I see. Luckily, your condition is still reversible. I should be able to cleanse the internal corruption as well. Just give me a minute, please. Thank you so much. Please, it's nothing. One important thing though, she still needs to abstain from fighting for a while after I've treated her. Alright. Hey, hold on a sec. Vestal, you know more than anyone else here about the metamorphosis, right? I suppose so. Okay, then listen. We're still in danger and need as many of us fighting as possible. I'm the Parzival of the Seas, and I'm duty-bound to protect Lord Bismarck as will all my other friends. If you cure me now, and I'm forbidden from fighting, I'll only be dead weight. So, could you just put a band-aid on, but let me stay like this for a while longer? You can fully cure me after this all's over. Are you sure you want to do that? Even if she's willing to take a risk, there's a lot at stake here. Worst comes to worst, she might lose herself again. Okay, I do what I can, but if you push yourself too far, there's no going back. You need to promise that if Bismarck or I ordered you to stop fighting, you will do that so at once. Is that clear? Yeah, promise. Alright then. Oh, it's so spidey things. Oh, my nose is so scratchy. Oh. The sound of my stream. Oh no. Happens again and again.